this lesson we're going to cover how to use the camera and the different tools available in Maya to walk around your object, look around, move your object into a workable space. This is very important for you to master and get control of, because this is going to be the bridge of all of the things that you're going to be using in Maya. You have to understand how to control your camera. So let me walk you through how to use these tools. Alright, let's start by opening a file. You can do it a couple different ways. You can click on this Open Scene icon. You can go to File, Open Scene, and you can also use Control-O. Okay, we're going to use Lesson 2. We'll just open that file. And you'll see that we have a bird here. Now, I'm going to talk about a couple of keyboard combinations here. Alt, and then your left click and drag will orbit the camera. Okay, and as you can see, I can move from underneath, above, in front, to the side. Okay, this is orbiting your camera. Now, if I hold down Alt and I middle click and drag, you notice that I can pan. Okay, this is only moving in two axes. Okay, up and left to right, whichever those may be for this particular view. But you can see I'm panning. Okay, I'm bringing this bird into frame. Now, there's three ways to dolly, and I'm not talking about zooming. I'm talking about dollying, where you physically move the camera. There's three ways that I'll show you how to do this. The first one is you press Alt and you hold it down, and you press and hold the first and second mouse button, or your index finger and middle finger, and you can see as I click and drag in and out, I'm dollying the camera, or a lot of people call it zooming, although zooming is a little bit different. This is called dollying, okay, but you can interchange the terms while you're first learning. So again, that's index finger and middle finger, first and second mouse buttons, and you can see here that this is dollying your camera. Now, if you have a wheel on your mouse, all you have to do is rotate the wheel and you can dolly in and out. You don't even have to press Alt. So that's kind of a nice feature. And then a third way is you can press Alt and right click and drag. Okay. So if you're an older Alias user and you were used to the first two mouse buttons, they kept that for you. If you're a new user, you can press Alt, right click, and that's one way to remember. Now, there's a couple of features here that we want to talk about. This right here is called the compass. Okay, and if I click on the blue square in the center, you can see I go back to my default view. Okay, this is when I open Maya, this is what I would see. Now, see where it says Z, and see where it says Z right here? That's if we want to look at this scene from the Z axis going forward. Okay, so this essentially is our front view. If I hit the X, you can see I'm now looking at my side view, or my right view. If we want to look from above, we can hit Y, and you can see we see it from our top view. Now, something to keep in mind, when you're in one of these preset views like this, top for example, if you press Alt and you click and drag, and when I say click and drag, I mean your left mouse button or your first mouse button. When I click and drag, I get the no symbol. Because I'm in a top view, or an orthographic view, I can only view two of my axes. So as a result, I can pan, okay, Alt middle click, I can dolly, but I cannot orbit. Okay, something to keep in mind. Now, to get out of this top view, just hit the square again, and you notice that it brings us back to the default view. Now, all of this depends on what is selected. So if I select, let's say, his beak, okay, and I just clicked on it once, and I hit the blue square, I will dolly in to the beak. Okay. Let's see, I'll pick one of his little feathers back here, and I'll hit the blue square. You can see I dolly, I pan, and I orbit so it matches up and fits into my view screen, my viewport here. So what else can we do? Well, let me teach you a couple of quick shortcuts. If you have something selected, like let's say the beak, and you want to fit that to your screen, all you have to do is hit F, and your camera will pull in tight as it can to fit that beak or whatever that is selected into your screen. If you want to see everything in the scene, press A, and you can see it'll highlight everything, or it will display everything. Okay, so a couple little tricks there. Again, F, A. Okay, and you can always hit the blue square. Okay, a couple useful things. Now, I'll teach you a quick little shortcut. If you press Alt and Control and you click and drag, you notice that I've got the dolly icon, okay, but I've got a little plus icon inside of it. When I let go, you can see I am dollying in to this little particular part. Okay. Okay, let me just dolly, set it all back up here. So that's again Alt, click and drag, Alt, Control, click and drag, and there you go. Okay. Now you notice I went from the top down. Well, if I press Control and Alt and I click and drag in the reverse direction, you notice I have a minus sign, and I will actually zoom out. Okay, so if you go this way, you zoom in, this way, you zoom out. So a real fast way to get in and out, select your items, move back and forth. It makes things a lot easier while you're working. But that is the fundamentals of moving around in your scene and getting comfortable with working in Maya. You'll see all of the artists, as you're working with other training kits from us, will always orbit. And what they're doing is they're just verifying that everything looks like it's supposed to be in place and things are lined up the way they're supposed to be lined up.